You psycho!
Well, I can respect your opinion. Sadly, I'm not good at rejection. I'm afraid you'll have to die.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome.
I'm going to tell you, I'm already walking. I'm already out the door. I'm already in the Uber away from whatever
Our
you think
guest
you just did.
Was Keith Carey.
Later, everybody.
We're going to try to stretch that into 2 episodes.
It's going to be like
And what do you
Inception,
think, Keith?
yeah.
Keith's nodding. He's nodding.
Yeah.
I don't know why every time I look at you like you're going to do something different.
You like Jeff is in just a tank top and a hat right now, and he looks like he's about to yell at somebody about the sauce.
Yep.
Like that's what. Hey, Ma, you gotta put the thing in the fuck.
You fungal, huh?
Yeah. You're just some Irish guy who's screaming at Italians about making spaghetti sauce.
You know, you guys were in Boston. You did.
You don't fucking know anything about oregano, kid.
Oh man, we're all garbage. So we got that's Tom.
It is, yeah.
And this is Jeff, and we watch Batman, and we have brought one of our favorite people onto the show. Somebody that literally we had no other person that we wanted to do this episode. Like it had to be.
Is
you.
the Rolodex that shallow that no one else could talk about?
Yes,
the worst
but also
movie of all time?
Put it this way: when was the last time we spoke?
That's a good point.
It's been a while.
It's been a fun. You really tried to avoid it at all costs.
And then I crawled out of the woodwork to be like, "Hey man, you want to talk about Batman on the podcast?"
That is like the only reason I hang out with any friends anymore.
Exactly. It's the only
podcast advice.
Hey, you want to go to the valley and hang out at Adam's weird divorce guy house?
It's a cool secret fortress.
I love.
This is definitely where a recently separated dude plans a shooting.
Yeah,
I think a recently separated dude lived here for a little while.
This studio looks like somewhere that an adult drinks but acts like they're not allowed to drink. You know what I mean? Like teenagers like fucking sneaking Four Locos into the woods.
Oh yeah. I feel like Four Loco was a little too late.
Don't record in your bedroom.
Adam adding, sorry, we don't record in your bedroom, Keith.
Fair enough.
Shower.
Tell Spade to pay you better so you can get one of these places.
Yeah, so I can get a fucking party bungalow.
There. You writer for the new David Spade show.
Yeah, I'm writing
Comedy
on
Central.
Lights Out with David Spade. I'm on camera on there a little bit as well.
Yeah,
And,
I saw 2 great sketches that you were in. One
I
where
played
you
a very fat Dracula, and then they replaced my head with a snake, and I played one of Nicolas Cage's Cobras.
Yeah, that interview was crazy, by the way.
Yeah, it was banana pants.
Yeah, it was. And we brought you on because the episode that we are doing our director's cut, our sort of reboot,
Our reimagining
of
our 4K re-release.
the episode we did on Batman and Robin over a year ago now. It was fine.
Yeah.
But it was short. We didn't cover a lot, and we did it alone. And now we're like, let's make someone else sit through this bullshit.
Well, Batman and Robin, it's such a hard movie to talk about because, like, I would say 20% of the internet is just people shitting on this movie.
Yeah.
Now, not a lot of people let it go.
It is a wide, like, I can't think of a movie that has stayed as hated as this movie.
And what's funny too is I remember reading like Wizard magazine, who's but usually been like very like happy about stuff. I remember even when that came out, they were like, Jesus,
Yeah.
the hell are you doing?
Yeah, it's holy fucking shit.
When you're catching heat from the toy rag. when you're in trouble.
When Wizard magazine, who's like making money off Batman, is like, don't see Batman. That's
Yeah, it's in their
garbage.
best interest to push the fucking Mr. Freeze mobile toy.
So we're the Batman and Robin, which starts with I think honestly like the coolest title intro, which is like the bat symbol gets frozen and then shattered.
Right.
And like that's pretty badass for those.
Right, that's all right.
That's
all
like
right.
pretty good.
Well, it sets a tone that the movie aggressively does not follow through on.
No, because
But it's really like, oh shit, winter's coming to Gotham. Is this shit going to be real like the animated series, Mr. Freeze?
Yeah, and like the music that's around it is like this really ominous low tone shit. So you're like, all right,
All right,
Yeah,
this
damn,
is-
we're taking it seriously.
Yeah,
All
this is
right.
Nolan shit right here.
Yeah, no more of that neon bullshit from the last one. We're gonna be grown-ups about this Batman.
the neon rape gang is still like
They still work at it though.
actively recruiting in Gotham City in Batman and Robin.
Yeah. They're not only they've gotten strong.
Right? Yeah.
They've
the neon
incorporated.
rape gang.
Yeah. The Neon Rape Gang from Batman Forever doing well.
I don't understand how this gang's not making any money. Well, we spend all our money on fucking xenon gas and
black lights,
bandanas.
black lights and face paint.
It takes me 5 hours to get ready for crimes each night. Like I feel like that's
But maybe if I didn't have to look like a poster in a dorm room, I could spend more time burgling.
Yeah.
It looked like an insane clown posse poster.
They are literally an insane clown posse.
So we have this thing, and then it opens with Robin being like, I want a car. Chicks jig the car. And we're like, oh, it's this kind of movie. Okay.
Right.
We didn't get what we thought we were getting with that smooth intro.
I would say, like, probably 70% of the lines in this movie are the line you write in, and then you go, well, I'll go back and write a real line later.
Yeah, I'll go back and fix that.
It's your first draft, baby.
Like if
It's all
Final Draft had a
placeholders.
button that said auto write dialogue,
Yeah.
it would be most of the non-pun lines in this
We
movie.
made this computer watch 100 hours of Batman movies.
Yeah, and it got it pretty easily.
and it actually really nailed it.
I'll say this. The Batman and Robin logo for the movie is good. The Batman with the Robin like overlaid.
I don't like
overlaying
the
it.
Robin logo.
But it's
It's like the
I think
Nightwing logo.
it
kinda.
works better than anything they could have had. Honestly, like it
I
looks
You
feel
already have
kind
the
of
goddamn
cool.
bat symbol.
Right.
Just the frozen bat symbol, I think, in and of itself is a good enough logo.
Yeah, but it's and Robin.
They really want Robin to be a thing, and what they forget is that Robin is dumb.
Right.
Sure,
Like Robin
he's
can
a
be
child
good.
soldier.
Well, he's not in these though. He's an adult.
He's an adult
Bruce
man.
Wayne adopted.
he's 32.
He's Bruce Wayne's
How'd you-
adult roommate.
How'd you like to be my adopted son? I'm like, well, I'm 33, so yeah, I guess.
I mean,
I don't know, Bruce.
Yeah.
What do you think?
You mind if I smoke in the house?
Also, so in the Batman Forever, sticking with the tradition, it opens with the gear up scene where we see dicks and butts within about 4 seconds.
And the nipple. I mean, the nipples are like the legendary.
I like it
thing.
in this one that they're kind of like in Batman Forever, it was just like a turn and a pose of the butt. And this one, they're like wiggling into the pants.
And there's still the zipper around the ass crack, which is my favorite thing
Sometimes-
in this whole series.
Well, and this scene really does set up what I think the thesis statement of what this movie is supposed to be is. Because I've talked about Batman Forever being a secret piece of gay cinema.
Yeah.
And the whole thing is like him as covert, and I'm putting big air quotes, but for the 90s, like him slipping in some gay shit. And this is them giving Joel Schumacher more money to do it again. And he's like, let's see how gay I can make.
I actually like
Fucking put nipples on their dicks.
I
don't
like-
give a shit.
I
dude.
like this about Joel Schumacher.
Fucking Batman gets his powers from fucking huffing poppers. You don't know.
I respect Joel Schumacher the further I am away from this movie.
Right.
Not because he made a good movie, but because he had a vision and oh shit did he go for it.
And here's the thing. The stuff that I think sucks about this movie, everybody wants to put it on Schumacher. They want to be like, oh, he fucking lamed up Batman. His version of this movie is probably really good.
Oh,
I think the studio fucked up this
I
movie.
think
Yeah.
there's some director's commentary where he's like, yeah, I'm sorry about this. Like,
Well, yeah, because
Well,
he's
yeah,
gonna,
I'm sure
he's,
he's been getting death threats from fucking incels for 20 years.
right. But
You know,
like,
I mean,
yeah, I
yeah.
think one of the big problems of this movie is evidenced right after, like we get to see it right after the Robin has his dumb, I want a car, chicks
yeah.
dig the car.
After we see the nuclear spinner that's now in the front,
that fucking
the fucking
Batmobile.
snow cone maker of a Batmobile.
That
Where-
Batmobile sucks.
Where
pretty
Batman
bad.
has upgraded it to only allow one person in the Batmobile, and
Yeah.
it's like a fucking.
And it can't even it barely fits him. It's like
Yeah.
a golf
If
cart.
that thing rolls, his head's gonna snap off. And then he's like, chicks dig this car that you can barely wedge yourself into that looks like a cock. Anyway, I'm gonna get on my motorcycle.
Yeah, I don't know anything about chicks. There's no room for a chick in the
Like,
Batmobile.
Dick, you're on a motorcycle.
I'll drive my penis substitute, and you drive yours, and mine's bigger, so I'm in charge.
But yeah, George Clooney opens his mouth, and it never gets any better from there.
George
Like,
Clooney
it's
is
like,
so fucking
he's
bad.
awful
in this.
This is why Superman works alone.
This is why Superman works alone. Like every
well, you've-
choice he makes in terms of like tone and inflection and looks and like every single decision he makes in this film is the exact wrong decision.
Also, this really adds on. Where the fuck is Superman when the whole fucking city gets frozen?
I don't know. He's
If he's- if he
busy trying to
exists in
rally
this
up a
universe.
budget. Here's my theory on George Clooney in this movie. I think he walked onto set day one because this is like coming off ER. This is not like
Yeah.
superstar George Clooney.
This is right when he broke. At
Yeah, because he
40.
did From Dusk Till Dawn, and he was already he's the world's youngest old man, and he was very sexy.
Right.
And
He was the 90s John Hamm.
And I bet you he like had a lot of like he went to acting lessons. It was super like going to take this seriously. He walks on set. He takes one look around and goes, "Pfft, okay, and then
yeah.
just did one take of every scene
Yeah.
of the movie.
It's like it's acted like it's a soap opera.
Yeah,
That they did one take, and if it's good enough, we'll move on.
Yeah, it is the cold read at the table, like before you actually look at the script.
Watching. Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say very much so, to the point that all of like the 5 principal actors are in a different movie.
Oh man, they really are.
Yeah, and like it's funny to see like how each actor is approaching this movie.
Yeah.
And like you look at it like who took this movie the most serious?
It's
Chris O'Donnell.
In terms of being like a serious like drama, it's definitely
Chris O'Donnell like pours himself into this.
He's doing good work in a bad movie.
And Uma Thurman's like, I'm a cartoon.
Yeah.
And Arnold Schwarzenegger's like, I'm making a lot of money for this.
No one has ever had more fun being in a movie than Arnold Schwarzenegger in this movie. He looks so stoked in every frame of this film.
Hello, cool.
Right. And his wife is supposed to be dying. Like he's supposed to be stealing money
like
to cure his sick wife, and he's just killing us with ice puns.
My wife is cold.
And when they introduced that way late in the movie, too, this
Yeah.
idea of like, oh, he's got a tragic backstory. We have security footage of it. I'm like, yeah, but I've been listening to this fucker say Frosta La Vista for 3 hours.
It's like,
He's really wacky for
like-
having this backstory.
Look, I was going to say it. Maybe the wife got off easy. You know what I mean? Maybe she jumped
yeah, fucking
into a vat of
Right, maybe this is what he was normally like, and she's like, I can't deal with this.
until I can find a
Jesus fucking
cure.
Christ, Victor. It's midnight.
Yeah, until I can find a cure for 57 sleeping pills ingested, I'll never be able to save my wife. Oh, Vendela wanted out, Arnold.
I want to see his workstation, and there's one notebook that says cure for that disease, and then 40 notebooks that say snow puns. Like, he spent way more time on that.
Snow way. Will that work?
It's something at the pieces of there. Okay.
It's Robin gets on the
I
cycle.
picked the wrong shield to die on. All right.
There's
now
a
we're doing it.
there's a
Kermit the Frog, what are you doing here? Ray Romano.
oh, look at me, I'm Mr. Freeze.
Deborah.
Everything's
fucking cold, Deborah.
Oh, my brother, he's Bane. He's really big. He's Bane. I don't get to talk in the movie.
Grr.
I'm Bane, Robin. I own a comedy club in Las Vegas. That we're now never going to get booked on.
Oh, yeah, this is what's going to
Right.
fucking seal that.
Okay, so there's a real funny thing where Robin gets on his motorcycle, and a part of this whole thing is that Bruce is babying Dick. Like, it's a big thing where he's like, you got to follow the rules, blah, blah.
Right.
Dick gets on the motorcycle, no helmet.
Yeah.
Just gets on, like, vroom, vroom, and they're like, all right, well, I guess this
Checks
is it.
out.
And then Alfred just starts to die a little bit. And then, like a fucking video game
I like
opening scene.
I like that his motorcycle is stored in like a giant Precious Moments box
underneath the Batmobile.
beneath the Batmobile.
You have to move the Batmobile to get
right,
the Robin.
like Robin
cycle.
can't go anywhere unless Batman moves the Batmobile.
Hi, Bruce. You actually you blocked me in the parking lot.
of my Robin cycle.
Oh, yeah, I'm just, I got to sleep for like 2 more hours, and then I'll move it.
I have to try not to kiss Elle McPherson this whole movie.
Yeah.
So there.
I have to look like I'm going to puke every time a woman looks at me in this film.
So Batman's driving, and his TV turns on, and it's Commissioner Gordon. He goes, Batman, a new villain has commandeered the Gotham Museum of Art.
Calling himself Mr.
He's
Freeze.
calling himself, and it is legitimately the opening scene of any video game from the 90s, where it's like, Batman, are you a bad enough dude
to save the president's daughter? I was about to
Are you a bat enough, dude?
Yeah. Oh,
Shit. Damn.
It's right there.
Put it in the notebook.
It's a good one. Write it down.
This is where Commissioner Gordon realized, the actor that plays Commissioner Gordon realizes no more meal tickets after this movie.
Yeah.
He knew this movie was.
Pat Hingle.
He's
does
so
his
done.
Pat Hinglist in this film.
He's so done.
Well, he's just slowly from the first Michael Keaton one into this one turning into Droopy the dog.
Right.
For the course of help me, Batman. He's got a gun that shoots fucking eyes.
He's stealing all the diamonds.
He is low-key my favorite character in this film, Commissioner Gordon.
Because he just fucking hits and runs and
He's
stuff.
the saddest old man.
He's just a fat old dipshit who does nothing ever.
So
Drunk child.
So I want to say this too, because it goes to the freeze sort of effect that we see. It's really good. Like the freeze effects that they're doing, the special effects to freeze people, it's fucking great.
They look pretty rad.
It looks really good.
Yeah.
And it was funny because I was watching this and Val walked over and she's like, that looks great. And I was like, yeah, but it's not.
Right, it's a terrible movie.
Yeah,
It all
yeah.
comes
It does
together as
look good.
garbage.
And so I do want to give credit to the effects team and the makeup and props department.
I would say
because, like,
visually across the board, this movie is pretty
Yeah.
fucking good.
Arnold looks like Arnold fought him in Running Man.
Yeah.
Does that
Yes.
make sense? Like he looks like a
100%.
Running Man villain.
Yeah.
You
Like
know,
not the main guy, but the guy you kill to get to the main
hey,
guy.
popsicle.
Yeah.
Sub-Zero,
Sub-Zero,
now, Plain Zero. Like he took all of his ice puns from the Running Man.
Now he's just plain zero. Yeah. Oh yeah. No, that's what we're going to do.
I like the Mr. Freeze suit in this, though. I know some people like the shit out of it, but I'm like, if you're going to cast Arnold as Mr. Freeze, you can't put him. There was a whole run of movies in the 90s where they made the mistake of thinking you could ever make Arnold Schwarzenegger look like a normal person.
Yeah.
Like any of the
Junior
comedies
when
where
he's wearing a suit.
Well, yeah, or any of the comedies where it's like, I am a guy who works in the office.
Right,
Like, no,
I'm
you're the Incredible fucking Hulk.
I'm undercover. No, you're not.
Yeah, so this is
No, you're not.
They're like, we're building off of just a horrible muscle god. Let's just put some spikes on him and call it a day.
It's like when you see like John Cena or The Rock playing like a mailman,
100%.
and you're like, nope,
This is my friend Dave. I'm like,
Yeah.
bullshit.
that's
it
not
is.
Dave.
No, he's not.
That guy is in special forces.
Yeah.
You just don't know it yet. All right, so
That is a fist in a tank top.
Right.
Batman shows
That's a
up.
demon that bargained with Dave. That's not.
The Rock is a demon.
It would make so much sense if I
Right?
to be 100% honest. I don't know if you knew this, but the Boston art, the Gotham Art Museum is actually a science museum.
Okay.
Like they lied.
Yeah.
It's like a natural history museum.
It's everyone's favorite kind of art, a dinosaur.
a dinosaur and
diamonds.
diamonds.
Yeah.
What's happening in this?
Neither of those are art. I didn't realize they called it the art museum.
Yeah, it's just a different section. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm going home, Batman.
Well, he's stealing stuff from the rich guy section.
Batman snowboards essentially down
Yeah.
a dinosaur.
Yeah, man.
Because you do that.
I love that this is a movie with multiple snowboard gags in the opening scene.
There's so much. They had so much ice prep for the fact that there was a new villain named
Right.
Mr. Freeze.
How often has this happened?
Bruce is like, put on the other boots. Put on the other boots.
They're
Dick.
not even in the other
Like,
boots.
have you ever carried a pair of ice skates before? Like, they're fucking heavy.
Yeah.
Right, it's a plan.
So
Like
you just have that in your shoes.
Yeah.
That means you have like massive lifts.
How many?
Wearing Gene Simmons.
How many
platforms.
violent criminals got away in a foot chase because like they couldn't keep up because they had the heavy ice skate
like, oh,
boots,
shit, I brought
and then
the
went
ski
on to
boots.
kill again?
accidentally, like Bruce accidentally has to skate out and then he twists his ankle.
Yeah.
Because
Oh,
he's
shit,
like,
Robin,
shit.
get him.
I clicked my heels together and then the whole thing happened. I want to
Like
say
it's a
this.
pain in the ass to carry a second pair of regular shoes with you.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, I'm packing right now to fly back, and I have to have I'm going to a wedding, so I have to have like nice shoes.
Yeah.
And I also have to have sneakers and the shoes I'm wearing. It's a fucking nightmare. Just having one extra pair of shoes to take home.
Yeah, that's so much
I'm
real
like,
estate
fuck
in the
this.
bag.
I don't want to do because I don't want to fucking pay.
Wear
to, like,
sneakers
put
to
a
the wedding.
luggage
Be
in
that
there.
guy.
Yeah.
It's in Maine, so like,
What are they gonna do?
I'll
Get-
still be top
Yeah.
of the.
What are they gonna do? Get unmarried? You'll be
Yeah.
fucking fine.
I'll still be S tier at that wedding.
Yeah, right. Everyone will be like, "Who is that guy with the nice footwear? What are those? Those are Adidas."
A closed toe. Excuse me, Your Highness.
Groom's just barefoot.
Fucking wearing like his shirts all torn.
Thanks for meeting us here in the mud pit.
Yeah. Y'all, man, don't forget to take a complimentary ride in Bigfoot. We rented him out for about 2 hours, man. You can crush any of the cars out there.
Yeah, man. Anyway, these motherfuckers get married. I now pronounce you barefoot and pregnant.
I will say this, by the way. Long ass
Bigfoot honks the horn.
There's a long action.
We're going mudding.
This is a long action
It
sequence.
is, yeah.
It's like
Oh, it fucking goes.
which like I guess good for them.
Yeah.
They're knocking it out of the park, man.
Yeah. My main is Mr. Freeze brought a rocket ship. He brought a rocket ship.
Yep.
Like,
Yeah.
that was his means of egress from this
My
from
car
this heist.
transforms to a rocket
Look,
ship.
that sounds dumb, but like really, I can kind of see the logic. Because here's the thing. Let's say I knew you were doing some crimes here and I came to stop you, okay?
Sure.
I have 10 minutes on the drive over to like make a plan or whatever. I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, if he has a car, I know I got to stop the car. If he's got a bike, I have to deal with the bike. I don't have a plan
What's
for
your
a
rocket
rocket
plan?
ship.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
As we see, his plan is just die.
Yeah.
Batman's plan is to die in the rocket
Right,
ship.
like he's bitching at Robin. It's like, you should have stayed down there. It's like, how exactly were you going to free yourself
Also,
from your
just-
ice bond?
Don't have him be Robin if you don't want him to do Robin
Right.
shit.
Also, which, by the way, Robin also crashes through a glass window in the museum on his motorcycle.
Right.
Like, no, you didn't teach him about respecting collateral
And in the
damage?
character legacy, when is Batman ever given a shit about Robin not dying?
Yeah.
Because Robin dies.
He always worries about
all
it
the
after
time.
the fact.
Right.
Oh, I lost another Robin. That's gonna fucking.
Maybe I
haunt
should
me.
examine some of the things
So-
I say and do.
So that the hockey team shows up,
Right.
like they do.
Of course.
Yeah.
It's the hockey team from hell. And then the guards are trying to beat Freeze.
Yeah.
And I'm like, he could kill you without the armor.
Yeah.
Like, it's still Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Imagine
Right,
me. I've never met a security guard this dedicated.
Right.
No, unless you're trying to get into Universal and you have and they can't find your pass
Yeah.
at the gate, and then they're like, you're gonna have to leave.
Yeah. You know,
Like,
look,
I have an appointment, and they're like, sorry,
I know
have-
no one's seeing Kung Fu Panda 3D on my watch.
Yeah,
okay.
hey, you know what? I got to go harass every woman on the set now. Excuse me.
Yeah. Gotta squeeze stuff. Uh-oh. Intruder.
Cameo by Winter Soldier.
Do they have a rocket ship?
So they have skates, and they basically play hockey with the diamond. Why is Mr. Freeze stealing a diamond? I'll tell you. Because his laser suit
Uses
only
diamond
works
enhances
unless
lasers.
it has diamond enhanced lasers, which is not a thing.
And you know, somewhere someone was like, I like the suit. I think it looks great. Do we want to do a second draft on the fuel
On
system?
the diamond, because I feel like he could just get a prism.
Right.
Like, go to like any tchotchke store and get like prisms.
Sure, I believe you. Like,
You know,
I don't know enough about diamonds or science to know why this doesn't work, but I'm pretty sure it doesn't.
Now
work.
I have the ice
It like consumes the diamonds too. Like he needs to keep filling up.
because it
Diamonds.
eats the diamonds. Or they just run out. Yeah, they run out of battery power.
Yeah, it's
Like
like
he's
that
some
is-
girl in LA buying crystals and charging them up.
the crystals are working.
Mercury's in retrograde. God. And then so he does.
He throws a man straight up in the air to
kills
knock
him.
his
He kills
to
the
knock
man.
his freeze gun loose.
Man is
Yeah.
Here's, by the way, this is the one big thing that does not. Well, the one thing. This is the biggest thing that does not make any sense about this movie to me. He needs the diamonds to keep the suit running so he can do research on the lady, right?
The cold beam.
He can just be out of the suit when he's at that cold fucking place at the
Yeah.
ice cream factory.
Yeah.
Why doesn't he just
Well, it's
stay
like putting
there?
gas in the car.
Well, he
you
wants.
know?
He says he's going to. He needs enough to build his cold gun so he can hold the city hostage, so that they will give him money so that he can continue his research. But
That's
it's like,
right.
bro.
That does
Just
sound like the genius level of a plan of someone who
Right.
looks like Arnold Schwarzenegger.
I would maybe just call before you go into I'm going to be Mr. Freeze mode. Just call Bruce Wayne. Be like, hey man, can you give me $1 million to cure this disease forever?
Hello.
Yeah.
My wife is very sick.
right, 'cause
Help
he has to qualify for some sort of disability.
Yeah.
He fell into an open air freeze tank.
He's trying to cash the check.
Reminder that
Now he's an
OSHA.
ice mutant.
Yeah.
No Gotham OSHA. There's
There is
no.
not.
He just fucking.
lost my workman's comp case.
I typed too hard and it exploded. And then I fell back into the freeze chamber.
Why didn't they put the railing up?
It was 50 below.
Who was filming this?
Yeah. Why are there close-ups on my face?
Help me, camera guy. These Arnold voices are not getting better as the show goes on.
No, as the throat gets worse,
Yeah.
the impressions.
Do it now.
He does a who killed the dinosaurs?
The Ice Age.
The Ice Age. And I feel like
He
Batman
wrote
should've-
that on the way up.
Batman,
Oh yeah,
Batman
because he
should
knew
have
there
been
were,
like,
or like when he got there, like he saw the dinosaur and got real excited. He was like, "All right, hold on, let me
He's
write
like,
some
oh,
shit."
everybody fucking stop for a second. Where's a bad Ben? Also, just general rule of bad pun: you don't get to do a setup if no one set you up.
Right.
The other fun part is like, it would have been funny if Batman were like, we have a riddle guy.
Yeah,
We don't do.
We did
riddles.
this already.
We
Yeah,
didn't have the
we did
riddles.
this.
he wasn't great either, but this is bad.
There's 30,000. He gets in the missile essentially.
Right.
It's a
Takes
escape
off.
missile.
It's an escape missile. Any and all dignity has been removed from this movie by this point.
Yeah.
Like any chance that you were just like, nope, this is life now.
Yeah, there's no way you're watching this and you're like, well, maybe it'll turn around.
Batman gets in. Robin grabs a hold. Freezes go 30,000 feet. It will freeze your hot cold. Will it?
Well, because Robin's on the outside. He seems to be
He's
doing
doing well for
Yeah.
being on the outside. Robin dying outside.
Right.
Batman's like, oh, this is fine, I
I'm
guess.
fine. Oh, good.
it. No, Art feels fine.
Yeah, oh, my hands are frozen. Whatever. Tie me up, Daddy. Like, he doesn't give a shit.
So Freeze takes off.
Right.
Robin gets in.
Freeze takes off and pops those sick butterfly
butterfly-
wings.
Hell
Yeah.
yeah.
Also, I do this.
Yeah.
My LED angel wings.
Again, not to harp on the gay thing, but he jumps out and he's like, was it enough? No, now I'm Cher. Fucking kapoof.
There's no way he doesn't. I don't, man. His heavy ass and his metal wings. It's just like
fucking
a rocket
It
to the
makes
air.
him a bullet. Yeah.
Just a blue meteor.
Also, does the Gotham PD not own a helicopter?
They don't do anything.
Time to fly, bang, bang, dead, crunch.
Yeah.
Like, fuck
Yeah,
that.
just goes through the fucking blades of the
Gets
helicopter.
fucking juiced.
Blue blood just goes everywhere. I guess I was the blue blood.
That's not even
Get
a
it?
snow pun, you dumb asshole.
I was born in Connecticut. Not with that accent you were. They have also, by the way, Batman and Robin have heat rays now.
Right.
They just have them.
They have heat rays. Just like,
Which is kind of a cool thing to have, I guess. Just like
Sure.
a laser you can do shit with whenever.
yeah, well, they're going to come back and
Yeah, your little ears and toesies get cold when you're fighting crime in the winter.
They agree
Heat gun.
to kick the doors out and sky surf without parachute.
Right.
Like Robin literally lands on a roof
Building.
and just keeps surfing. Like he would have gone right through it.
Oh, yeah. Every bone in his
He would have
leg
sliced
shattered.
some lady bathing's head off. Some old lady in a
Right.
tub.
He crashes through. He crashes through into a crib.
Like in Predator 2.
Oh, God. Batman's 40-year-old son killed my baby.
We need to call the police. They would just call Batman.
Yeah.
Well, we kind of have a protocol for this.
Robin yells cowabunga.
We're
by the
busy
way.
chasing Coolio out of the city.
They have the chase, and it's silly.
Right.
Right. He somehow.
It looks like a music video. It looks like a Bollywood music video where
Yeah.
they're like running and trying to get away from each other. And then he just turns and freezes the shit out of Robin.
Right, like they're trying to force their way through a door, and then it gets open enough for Robin to dive in, and he's like, I'll get him. And then Batman's like, Robin, no. And then he dives in and gets frozen. But it was like, what was Batman's plan? Like, you're all forcing this, they're pushing the same door open. Like,
Yeah, there was only one option.
I mean, maybe
Based on
don't
the action that preceded
Right.
that.
maybe don't leap at the bodybuilder in an exoskeleton. Is probably the first, like maybe
I feel
don't
like everyone's got a
immediately.
lot of fucking tips for Robin, whereas Robin's been nothing but good at being Robin this whole time.
he's been killing it as Robin. This is really the first time he's fucked up, because Batman got fucked up and frozen already in a rocket ship.
Yeah.
This is
I
like,
guess they're
this
one
is
to
like
one now.
way less extreme
It's a
of a
tie.
situation.
I mean, it's a little more extreme as far as he has 11 minutes to die.
right.
And then but here's my problem with that heat laser too, is he drops Robin in water and like sprays the heat laser for like a couple seconds and it starts boiling.
It's a really
It's like,
good heat
that is
Hey,
a,
man.
that's, you
Use-
fuck up with that heat razor, you're slicing your leg off, dude.
Use
Yeah,
that to make soup.
That is
Yeah.
not a heat ray.
That's a
That is
lightsaber.
that is a fucking moonraker.
Yeah. That is 100% a lightsaber.
Yeah.
So then Batman lowers him in, boils the water.
Yeah.
Robin's like, we get him? He's like, fucking idiot.
Yeah.
And then we get to go to Pamela Isley. And
In
they were
Xanadu.
like, we need to make Uma Thurman ugly. And they fail.
Nah, you can't do it.
Yeah.
It's
She's
not
like
possible.
bumbling and she's basically talking about crossbreeding plants and animals so that they can fight back
What
against
is he
mankind.
doing in his Gilgamesh room?
Yeah. So what's interesting, you know who he is, right?
Jason Woodrue. Yeah, it's
Jason-
the Floronic
yeah,
Man.
It's the Floronic Man.
Yeah.
Did you watch Swamp Thing?
No.
The new series. It's the one played by that big dude,
Kevin Durant,
Kevin
yeah.
Durant plays the same. It's the same guy. That's and I always forget his name. The
John
actor.
Glover.
John Glover, the Clamp from Gremlins 2.
Mhm.
Okay.
Plays the mad scientist.
Oh,
and he's
great.
he's a character in DC. He's the Floronic Man, who's basically like an evil Swamp Thing.
Oh,
And
okay.
he was used in the most recent iteration of Swamp Thing.
What a weird deep pull.
I didn't even notice it until Val's like, "Hey, that name is the same name as Swamp Thing." And I was
Yeah,
like,
it's real like they say his name like twice.
Yeah,
so.
Dr. Woodrow. And she's like, oh, Woodrow, like in Swamp Thing. And I was like, of course, like in Swamp Thing. It's the Floronic Man. Okay, I
Sure
get it
is.
now.
I like that dude in this movie is playing at a level where I wouldn't call anything that just happened subtle, but he still seems over the top after Batman goes to space.
Like Schumacher, you think Schumacher would be like, can you tone it down?
yeah,
Like,
I have 2 settings, 15 and fuck you.
well, you figure he gets onto that set, sees what's going on, is like, all right, crank it to 11. Like Nicolas Cage should have been in this movie.
oh man, Nicolas Cage should have been everyone in this movie.
Every single part shows up as Batgirl.
Alfred, it's me.
Uncle Alfred,
It's me, Barbara.
I tracked you down.
Look at my skirt.
Oh, I'm going to do a karate kick now.
Yeah. I've got a special for girls motorcycle.
With his hair twisted
comes
up
with
like Coolio.
I have chunky heels because it's the 90s.
Yeah.
All right, so he's stealing her venom samples to have a terrorist auction
Right.
where in the terrorists group is an American general.
Yeah,
They just found an American general outfit.
accurate.
Which is, it's a pretty great gag.
Yeah.
Look, those could have all been real rough Arabs. Putting an American in there at least makes it
an
fair.
American, a Russian lady, the Iron Sheik,
He's just yelling about how Hulk Hogan's a bitch.
Fidel Castro, a guy in a dashiki, and then a Chinese businessman. That's who's there.
It's a real rogues gallery.
And he's selling his super soldier serum, copyright DC, not Marvel. No, just kidding. That's a Marvel thing. That's what makes Captain America, right?
100%.
And he just goes, now I'll put this mask on this killer so he can turn into a fat guy.
My question.
He turns stepdad strong.
I was like,
Right.
are there no bodybuilders in 1997?
I'm sure that guy can lift a lot of tires.
Yeah.
But, why would you take Venom and inject it into a little guy? Like, why wouldn't you inject it into a guy who's already huge so that he gets even huger?
I think it was more for the show. I
Sure.
don't think he was. I don't think he was expecting Bane to escape and do shit. I think it was just like, look what I can do to this little guy. Imagine what I can do to your athletes.
Okay,
Think of
that
like
makes a
Captain
little more
America.
sense.
Why did you
Yeah.
put it into Steve Rogers instead of one of those guys?
Because, well,
I know, but you know what I'm saying. But look what it still has an effect.
That
just
makes
saying, it
sense.
seems like a waste of the Venom.
Look, man, I will defend this decision until I die. But it's
He's
also
using that
like
little guy.
Here's the thing: the little guy has no body fat on him, and then when they turn him into Bane, he's a fat guy.
Yeah.
he's a very strong, but he's a fat guy.
No, he's straight. Yeah, this is the thing. Like, it's not. If you're trying to sell this for billions of dollars to Captain Dashiki and fucking the Contra guy or what, Oliver North's trying to buy your super soldier serum. Like, it needs to turn you into like a monster, not just a guy from Wisconsin. Like,
Not like a regional pro wrestler.
Yeah,
Like,
it's like you really just did 3 months of Arby's, is what you did at that man. 3 months of Arby's and some
He was,
CrossFit.
hitting the gym, but he wasn't
like,
skipping the bread.
He's
either,
jacked, but he's slow.
it's just funny to me. And basically, he turns into Frankenstein.
Yeah, he's wearing Frankenstein boots.
He turns into vegetable Frankenstein, but like with a beer gut.
Right.
It's like, it's hilarious to me that there's such a huge budgeted movie and they didn't need a good actor. All they needed was a jacked dude and they failed.
Here's my theory, and I have no idea if this is true. I wonder if there's something in Arnold's contract that says no one can make me look like not the toughest guy, so they had to hire a fat guy.
I mean, maybe.
Also,
You're
how do you
probably
make
not
anyone
wrong.
look tough next to Arnold? You know what
Arnold
I mean?
in armor.
Yeah.
Arnold.
That was a fucking reach. Arnold.
That's what we do here.
Ah.
Okay. So he puts on the mask. Comes a fat guy. The bidding starts at 10 million, which seems low.
Yeah.
A little low, even for
For a
97.
serum to change the planet.
Yeah,
They
it's like-
spent more on this film.
I invented liquid magic, and it's $10 million.
Yeah. And so
The cost of making like a Jesse Eisenberg movie. Not even this movie.
there's this, she like clutches her pearls
Yeah.
and he gives like the join me speech and she's like, you corrupted my research. He's like, you were being fucking crazy anyway.
Yeah.
Like you were trying to get plants to fight back. You wanted to turn plants into snakes.
You fucking weird bitch.
That's weird.
Yeah, like
I just made this little guy fat.
yeah.
What's wrong with that?
We already have fat guys. We don't have snake trees yet. I don't know. I'm just playing with the cards I got dealt, dude.
Yeah. I actually just switched him out with the dude I saw walking down the street. This is all smoke
It's
and
all
mirrors.
smoke and mirrors, man.
Yeah, it's just a trick mirror. It's like the Haunted Mansion.
Yeah.
It's Dr. Pepper's ghost.
Oh, man. And he goes, well, I can respect your opinion. Sadly, I'm not good at rejection, and I'm afraid you'll have to die. And then he shoves her.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
He shoves her into her
some
her
chemicals.
shelf of chemicals and poison and shit.
then he pushes her down. The chemicals fall on her, and he goes, "Let the poisons and toxins burn a grave." And it's just like,
It's not poison.
that's
word.
not how that works.
Yeah. Also, it's not like he doesn't know that some of these poisons turn you like crazy strong and have powers.
Right,
and
like
stuff.
he just literally walked out of a demonstration.
And here's what I love. I love that she happened to get the exact right blend of like poisons that turns her into poison ivy. I wish there was one vial off, so she's like, I'm sexy now. Also, I have leukemia.
Right.
One of her eyes just keeps drooping a little
Yeah,
bit.
she's real foxy while she just dies of cancer through the rest of the movie.
But instead, she just becomes like a slutty drag queen.
Yeah.
And it's fucking great.
I fell into
like-
this vat of chlorophyll.
Like, this. The poison ivy character in this film is one of those cultural touchstones in my sexuality.
right.
Of just being like the thing that really resonates with me, unlike the things that wake you up and put you online in your brain of like, oh, this is a fetish now.
Yeah, I think if you were between like 9 and 14 when this
Yeah.
movie came out, this just blew your dick. This was the Beatles for your dick.
Yeah.
Like,
Dude, you're not wrong though. Like it's
Yeah.
I feel like this
I
is
was-
more like the Monkees for my dick because I did for some reason this one didn't hit me in that way.
Oh, I mean, I was like, I guess I like evil now.
yeah.
Like I like Uma's poison ivy more than Catwoman, because Catwoman is slightly sympathetic in Batman Returns. In Batman and Robin, Poison Ivy's just a fucking sexy evil psychopath.
yeah.
And like, man, just seeing someone run at me with all them red flags,
Danny like
twirling them.
just fucking beating me to death with them.
doing a fan dance with red flags. Hey there, sailor. Don't ask about my
I
dad.
was about to say you look like my dad.
It's funny that he's like, excuse me for a second, murders a woman, and
Yeah.
he's like, anyway, sorry.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Anyway, sorry.
He's doing Count Chocula through this entire scene.
He looks like Count Chocula.
My motherfucker just loves poison and marshmallow bats.
So we have Dick is just in warm water.
Yeah.
Like hanging out like he's got a cold in
Yeah.
a movie from the 30s, you know.
Mhm.
And then we see a video from Gotham University where two-time Olympic decathlete
Yep.
and Nobel Prize winner Victor Freeze, his wife, Vendela, from Sports
Two-time
Illustrated swimsuit issue,
Olympic decathlete.
Yeah.
contracted a rare disease, McGregor's syndrome. You believe it?
Yeah.
And guess what?
What are the odds?
Supermodels and 130-year-old men equally susceptible to McGregor's syndrome, as we're about to find out. The cryo solution mutated his body. Sure. He needs diamond-enhanced lasers to keep him alive. Sure.
Or just a really good air conditioner, as we find out later.
And then Batman punishes him with 10 hours in the simulator. What is that?
The simulator?
He punishes Robin with 10 hours.
Oh, no.
What
He said 10 hours in the stimulator. That's a totally different thing.
That's why Bruce's nipples are always so erect.
Yeah, exactly. It's just think of clothespins, but like attached to like a box fan.
Alfred's like, Bruce, you need to trust people, and Master Dick is on the same path as you, just differently. You must learn to trust him, for that is isn't that the nature of family?
Anyways,
I
I'm
don't-
going to die soon.
Also,
Hopefully I choke and I don't have to be in the next one of these.
also family. I don't trust most of my family.
True.
Alfred is wrong.
Well,
Also, none
Alfred-
of these people are related.
Yeah, Alfred has spent most of his life transplanted from his own family
Yeah.
into.
He doesn't know how to get a hold of his own brother.
Right, like he has no idea how to find his brother Wilfred.
Well, I would have looked him up, but I was busy enabling a psychopath for
Right.
2 decades.
So he spent all of his time like being in a service role in a different family who most of them is dead.
Yeah.
So it's like, isn't this what, like, he doesn't actually have any wisdom in this area if you think about it.
And he goes, I trust you. And he's like, man, I shan't be here forever.
Weird.
Wink, wink.
Now off to karate chop mental patients with you.
There's a flashback to young Bruce falling outside of Alfred's door.
I don't even remember this.
There's a flashback where he's like running because like Bruce is like
it's one of those.
remembering
It's
it.
like there's three or four different moments in the movie where George Clooney just looks at the camera and like is half smiling, and then it shows like a flashback
Yeah.
of like
Alfred.
young Bruce.
But like he falls right outside of Alfred's door, and I'm like, I bet Alfred tripped that kid. He set up a little tripwire. Or
He
something.
waxed that one tile a whole lot.
Who are you going to tell, you little fuck?
It's like Munchausen by proxy.
Oh, I can't wait for that little son of a bitch to come running my way.
He's just abusing this kid
Yeah.
for his whole child.
Parents aren't there. You know, what are they going to do?
Just sees Alfred doing the laundry. He's holding up his mom's underwear. Hey, Bruce.
Let's see. So we have the ground sort of Ivy showing up when the guy Woodrow's on the phone being like, well, I'm glad you won the bidding.
Yeah.
And then the ground rumbles. Ivy comes out looking hot as shit.
Right.
Like she didn't just fall into a fucking poison chasm.
Right.
And like she comes out like
Yeah.
stripper now.
Yeah. Just I'm going to be super fuckable for the rest of this movie.
And then she goes, they replaced my blood with aloe, my skin with chlorophyll, which that's not
That's
how
not
that would
correct.
work at all.
Yeah.
The chlorophyll's a liquid.
Yeah.
Every part of me is goo now.
And filled my...
Just goo.
What I'm getting at is I'm super wet.
She's Clayface. She's actually Clayface.
Right. My bones are hollow now.
Man, what you talk about people like switching like races and genders for movies. I want to watch fuckable Clayface in a Batman movie.
There have been... I think there's... I mean, they do ink in Batman Beyond. The ink character is
I
essentially a
didn't watch
fuckable
Batman
Clayface.
Beyond really.
Oh, it's great. If you
Okay.
get a chance to. It's very good. We'll bring you back for...
Sorry, I feel like I'm interrupting this terrifying
No.
play-by-play of Batman and Robin that you have handwritten in a notebook.
Dude,
This
I
is
couldn't
what-
find a plot that, like, the Wikipedia skips too much.
This is what no, it doesn't. First of all, second of all, this is what every notebook in the opening credits of Seven is. It's just
Dude,
Jeff writing notes about this movie.
Jeff's notes about Batman
Oh,
and
that's
Robin.
so much Batman information and opinion.
I fucking earned my keep here.
Fair enough, man.
It took me like 4 hours to get through this movie, which, fuck, man.
That's-
And what's worse
that's
is I
a
watched
long
it a
time.
couple days ago and I've forgotten most of the stuff.
It's the nature of Batman and Robin.
Yeah.
Like, I forget what's happening in the middle of this film every time I watch it.
Right.
She kisses him and he dies, and it's funny.
Sure does.
Yeah. And that
rocks.
Yeah.
And then,
She's great all the way through.
Yeah, she's awesome.
yeah,
She's really going for the like over the top
Yeah.
60s Batman.
Exactly.
Really
she gets it
vamping it up.
1,000,000%.
Yeah.
In a way everyone else, I think, gets to varying levels.
Right.
she crushes some shit, notices Wayne Enterprises on the beaker,
Right.
which, come on, Wayne. Bruce.
I don't know. You brand your shit.
More like Bruce Vane. Bruce Vane. Get it? Bruce Vane.
We'll be right back with Jack Hanna.
I'm getting Jack and Bruce Wayne
This is Gotham City Johnny Carson.
and a Clayface in a diaper. Clayface kills Johnny Carson. Okay. Bane's literally just flexing,
Right.
Yeah.
and I'm like, that's not impressive. He's not.
I'm not fat. I eat milk.
Just go, like, why didn't they just go to the set of American Gladiators and pick a guy?
Right. There's been, as Jeff's
been
been pointing out,
gladiators.
there's been gladiators in the past two films.
They're
so.
strong guys. They're
Yeah.
around.
Yeah, they're
Like-
available, and they'll leave Gladiators where they're making $150 an episode.
Fuck, why don't you just go to the Venice boardwalk and find the first just
Right.
ding dong in a Speedo and be like, can you go, Cool, you're hired.
Yeah, I sure can.
Yeah.
It's
Cool.
basically the hiring process that Poison Ivy goes through to recruit Bane.
Yeah, it's like,
Just
you're
hears
the
him
first
shout.
person I saw. How'd you
Yeah.
like to be my partner?
Come on, Bane. We're going to Gotham City. And they fly there like dressed up like Casablanca
Yeah, it's kind of,
in a 1940s airplane.
and then they
Bane-
murder a bunch of people.
Bane's goddamn disguise with
It's a
the
fedora.
trench coat and the fedora.
It's like
And
how
she
Ninja
has him
Turtles.
driving. Like
Somebody
she,
had to check the ID at the airport. They're
Yeah.
like, checks out.
this is a guy. She has him drive her through Gotham. She's like to the Gotham Observatory, and he knows where it is.
Bane's a learned man. He's a man of culture.
I drive stick.
I picked up a map at the airport.
Atlas.
Lift.
So, Mr. Freeze lives in the abandoned Snowy Cones ice cream factory.
He sure does.
Gotham, we've talked about this many times, but Gotham really needs to get its abandoned themed businesses under control.
Right.
Yeah. Just wipe them out.
Like you're asking for it with an abandoned ice cream factory.
Yeah. Oh, no, it's the joke shop.
Yeah, Lord help you if you leave that building up.
Like, even if there wasn't a Mr. Freeze, some just regular criminal's going to walk by that and be like, wow. I mean,
I guess I'll become Mr.
This is available?
Freeze.
This is
I don't
available?
know. Somebody's got to be fucking Snow Dave or whatever. I'll figure out the name later.
Nobody's
Snow
done
Dave.
Ice Guy yet?
Yeah.
Ice Guy's available?
Ice
Oh,
to
man.
meet you.
I'll write that down.
Yeah, cool. Nailed it. Chill Cosby is ready to go. Nah, you know what? Better do one more.
Did not last.
One more time.
Freeze is watching the Snow Miser song from The Year Without a Santa Claus.
Yeah.
There are several questions that are being raised from this scene.
Yeah.
Number one, is this the only thing that he watches? Because it seems like it is.
He has many televisions. Well, no, because we know the other thing he watches is the inexplicable professional candid footage of him and his wife.
On 6 TVs. Yeah.
On 6 TVs.
He's like Ozymandias of being a dumb bastard.
Right.
Also, why is he wearing slippers?
He's wearing a bathrobe and slippers.
Yeah.
I don't know. He's trying to get comfortable. That to me is the least questionable element of this film.
Okay.
He's making all of his goons sing.
Why is he making his hockey team sing Rankin Bass music?
This I couldn't begin to tell you.
At the same time, he is forcing them to eat
Why?
frozen TV dinners.
Why are they eating frozen TV dinners?
They look like they have to. Like they're being required to do this.
It'd be great if, like, because they always try to do there's the idea that like Batman and the villains are not that different. So they cut back to Wayne Manor, and Bruce Wayne is just forcing Alfred to sing Bat Dance by Prince.
Yeah.
More questions.
Okay. You got several pages
Why
on the ice cream factory.
did you dress Vivica A. Fox like this?
Yes.
And why is she only finding out now that you're married?
Right. She seems to be just learning about his wife. Seems to serve no other purpose except to be like, like she's like his sugar and spice from Batman Forever. But like, why hire her if you're just gonna like? I need somebody to constantly rebuke their advances or like rebuff their advances.
Look, as long as we're asking questions, let's get into this. You know, in a Christmas Story, when it's really cold outside, he puts his tongue on the pole and then it's frozen to the pole.
Sure.
So I'm just thinking of a man made of ice fucking.
Oh yeah.
And it goes in and it's wet. Does it just freeze up in there and then the fire department's got to pull him out?
Tearing it all off.
It's called a childo.
I like it.
I don't know what that is.
Just get a crowbar.
Final question. And I feel like this is contract based, but nonetheless for the story. Why would Mr. Freeze smoke cigars? He's inhaling heat into his lungs.
Do you not know the story of the cigars?
Well, I know Arnold loves cigars.
No. Oh, okay. I was just reading up on some trivia about this movie on the way over.
Let me have it. Yeah.
Those cigars are real that were brought to Arnold day of. The real Cuban cigars that he forced him to paint white so he could smoke them in the movie. And they were hand delivered to him by John Bon Jovi.
Cool.
And this guitar player, Richie Samper.
Oh, man. That is the best piece of trivia you could have fucking brought this.
I read that. I'm like, I hope this comes up.
I'm going to breathe in fire into my lungs to stay cold.
Why is his name not Dr. Freeze? I just realized he's literally a doctor.
Yeah. Like he's downgrading himself by saying Mister.
He can go to 8 years of cold medical school to
No.
become Mr. Freeze.
That's probably one of the reasons Mike Myers wrote that Mr. Evil, Dr. Evil thing.
Yeah.
I would not doubt that at all.
Was it a reaction to this movie that came out like 6 months
Why would
before?
you do that? You'd call him Dr. Freeze.
Yeah.
All right, leave us. We need quality time. Because he's talking. He also gives Frosty, one of his guys, his own plan. He murders that dude like less than a week later.
Like 2 scenes later, he freezes him to death.
She's wearing a necklace in a cryo chamber. Sure. Alicia Silverstone arrives. Okay. Here's the thing. This movie assaulted her career.
Yeah, I got pummeled into the fucking earth. She
And,
never recovered from this.
And a lot of it is unfair that it had to do with the fact that people were calling her fat.
Which is very stupid because
it's crazy.
I'm not.
Bane is fat.
Yeah.
Why didn't they ruin that guy's career?
Right.
That
Well, I
right
mean,
there?
Well, that guy died
That guy died.
immediately.
Immediately.
That guy saw this movie and went, "Oh fuck, exit stage left." And OD'd on pork or whatever the Christ happened to him.
She rings the bell several times, which it's a big house.
Shit.
Give it a minute.
All right.
Do you think the bell doesn't work? Alfred has been supporting her for the past 5 years, like his secret daughter.
Sending her wages because Bruce still pays him? I don't know.
She's on break from Oxbridge University, and then Bruce is like, "I hope you'll stay with us." First
Dick
off,
answers the door and from Jump Street is trying to fuck her.
Yeah.
yo, hey, you like 26-year-old dudes?
Hey, what's up? I'm Robin. I'm the fucking boy wonder.
Want to see me do laundry? I kick it.
You ever see somebody jujitsu some underwear?
I'll do jitsu your underwear, baby. Hey,
Hey.
sit on my face. Jesus.
Not too fat to ride.
Yeah. Hey, I like my girls with a little cushion for the pushing. You know what I mean? Hey,
I like a girthy broad. Robin is just Andrew Dice Clay.
Hey, I like a girl that can survive the winter. Oh. And Robin Dice Clay.
Hickory dickory dock. Mr. Freeze froze off my cock.
Oh, there it is. I like that. Then he's like, hopefully they'll stay with us. And she's like, no, this luxury isn't my style. It's like, you go to prep school.
You gotta,
Don't get uppity about it.
You live in a place that's all fancier than Wayne Manor.
right. Like your wealthy uncle is paying for you to go to a proxy for Oxford. Like,
yeah.
you are used to this.
There could not be a more uppity origin
right.
story.
Yeah.
Also, Alfred keeps being like, she shouldn't be here. Get her the fuck out of here.
Get that bitch out of this house.
Kick her out even though she lives in England.
I paid her to leave.
Right. I'm not actually around near her.
Go be a whore in England.
He says, like, when he's talking to, when he's saying, like, she shouldn't stay here, it's like, well, he says something, or no, wait, he's talking to her, and then Bruce and Dick are behind them in the garden, and he's like, well, you have to have some secrets to live in this house. It's like, what must she think of that statement?
I'll stay with your gay men.
Yeah, okay.
Like,
If they're into each other, they're not into me. This is great for me.
I don't know why this guy keeps trying to fuck me,
Right.
and he's clearly not interested for real. He's really trying. Hey, you want to be my beard?
Yeah, come on.
Go be my beard.
Got a story. We'll do it once so it's honest.
You trying to party, babe?
Get on my mouth, be my beard. Oh.
Jesus Christ.
Now,
I mean-
here's where we get to meet the idea of Alfred and Barbara's connection, which is
This is one of my favorite
Her
parts
mother.
of this movie.
has to be 87 years old.
Right.
Right.
We
That
talked.
photo of her
Yeah.
is an old boudoir portrait from what
It's
looks
a
like
silent
the
film
40s.
headshot.
And she's old in that.
It's the girl who auditioned right before the Black Dolly.
Right.
And then she's like, it's mom. How old was she when you were born?
That's
Were you
that's
stolen?
that's the headshot she brought to her King Kong audition.
Like,
Oh,
honestly,
your mom didn't have you when she was 73 years
like,
old?
honestly, this doesn't,
Right, because she's like
it doesn't track. She's
like
supposed to be
19.
18.
Or
or
at this
19,
point,
yeah.
and it's like her mom is supposed to be the sister of Alfred and his brother, who presumably is also just fucking wizard age.
Right.
So she has to be super fucking old.
It's
Like old to the point that when she gave birth, there was no like birth fluid. It was
dust.
just like rolled out in a pile of sand.
tumbleweed baby just coming right
Like they
out.
just landed in Tatooine.
There's no way this. She's like, oh, I miss mom since she died of old age.
Since she died in World War
I
I.
was about to say I've been missing mom since 1965.
Since she got taken out by the Kaiser.
Since she died in that Zeppelin crash.
Oh, the Batmanity.
God damn this. Barbara settles in and then immediately escapes.
Yeah.
Like she's in jail.
Yeah, like she wasn't. You were
Right,
just
she climbs out the wind. Like, who do you think's going to stop you, Alfred?
fucking lady. You were not here 30 seconds.
You know
ago.
what? I will say this: 8 seconds into her being there, she was immediately sexually harassed.
Oh,
Maybe
yeah.
It's just her trying.
As
not to
soon
get
as Dick
catcalled.
opens the door.
Maybe she's just trying not to get catcalled.
Fair enough.
You know,
Yeah.
like that guy's gonna rape me.
Right,
if
she
I
like
go
as soon
by.
as she like pushes a desk in front of her door. So that fucking Dick guy.
Yeah,
is
I'm
gonna-
not waiting for this confident boy with the earring to come fucking.
She's checking her walls in her room for secret doors.
showing acrobat.
I know these fucking rich guys have secret passages.
So she does a prison escape and then steals a motorcycle from Bruce
To go race for Coolio.
to go race for Coolio. Because you know what? Coolio's the man to see in Gotham City.
Yeah.
It's a gangster's paradise out there.
I like that there are only 2 black people in this version of Gotham City, and they are both highly themed criminals.
Coolio and Vivica A. Fox.
Yeah.
They're on a career trajectory that is similar, yes? Yes?
Is Coolio alive? He seems
Someone
like a guy
took
who wouldn't be alive.
Someone took a photo with him not too long ago and says he wasn't interested in taking this picture. I don't care. I think it was like Dallas McLaughlin,
Right.
comic out of San Diego. He was like taking a picture. It was him and somebody else, like 2 pictures. And he was like, neither one of these men were interested in taking a photo with me. I don't care.
It's really, I just need evidence that I was near them before.
I just
they
wanted a picture with Coolio,
disappear.
man.
Yeah.
So then we have the Ivy and Bane are driving the most ostentatious red Mercedes. It looks like Hitler's Mercedes.
We're trying to lay low, and then they just cruise in the Cruella de Vil mobile.
Now we get the
Stole a car from Hitler's motorcade.
Yeah, wasn't that a subplot of Valkyrie or something?
This is the alternate timeline that Inglourious Bastards created. They killed Hitler. Somehow this lady got this car.
Bought it at Sotheby's.
Now
And this
we're
version of Bruce Wayne is Jeffrey Epstein.
the observatory,
Oh yeah.
Right.
possibly the most dangerous building in the world.
Yeah, ever conceived, really.
It is a globe on top of a statue.
The giant statue game in Gotham City
Has
has
really
really gotten out of control.
Well, yeah, because it's Joel Schumacher going, well, what if every building was surrounded by 80-foot hamstrings? I just want luscious bronze fucking calf next to the bank. I want to walk under the taint of no less than 5 Colossuses on my way to CVS.
They give this big speech where
Just
they're
a
like,
forest of runners' legs.
hopefully this telescope will inspire future generations. And I hate to break it to Gotham City, but they're about to get the internet.
Yeah, no one's ever gonna.
No one's
No
going
one's
to
gonna give a
shit.
fucking shit about a telescope.
No one is going to fucking care. Google's coming in 4 years.
Yeah, every one of these scientists is gonna be out of a job.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love how one of those 2 scientists are interesting because there's the Asian guy and then the African-American woman. And I'm pretty sure she's that lady from Ripley's Believe It or Not that can poke her eyes out. They can like bulge out of her face.
Is that real?
I remember seeing that and being like, I think that's the bulging her eyes out lady.
You really better hope you're right. Here,
Yeah,
Jeff.
you better be
Yeah.
correct on that.
But the guy is one of my favorite background character actors.
I feel like I've seen him in other.
He's
shit.
in a lot
you
of
have.
stuff, yeah.
And he's my favorite character in the movie Maverick.
Okay.
Because at the end, at the big scene at the end of Maverick, where Alfred Molina is like, see if you can be my straight flush. And everyone's like, whoa. And then at one point in time, he goes, oh, unbeatable in the background. He goes, oh, unbeatable. And it is one of the funniest things I've ever seen in my life. That they're just like, do that voice. Do
This
the
guy-
unbeatable.
Oh, very
asshole.
good.
Yeah. And it's
Oh,
like,
you want me to do it more racist? Okay.
oh, you want me to? Because it's the Old West. Oh, unbeatable. Yeah.
Should I be
Anyway.
building a railroad in this scene? What do you think?
Yeah, no Chinese welcome.
Mel Gibson's in the back, like, we could go more racist.
Yeah. Make him crucify Christ. Why not? Throw that in there.
Mel Gibson believes the Chinese killed Christ.
The Chinese did it. All right, so
They're industrious. They'd figure it out.
they ask him about the engagement question. They're like, Bruce, when are you gonna marry this wonderful lady? And the most poorly acted line.
What the?
Marriage.
Marriage.
I'm a gay guy.
You want to help me out?
I'm dreaming about boners.
And they booked. It's funny because Schumacher said that this is all about a man coming to terms with his sexuality,
Right.
and that he's like, that's why he picked Elle Macpherson. He's like, I picked like what is essentially somebody who is professional arm candy,
Right.
and put her there. And boy, does she not act.
Nah.
Bruce, I can't help you if you don't tell me what the problem is.
She's as stiff as he isn't in all these scenes.
Yeah, he's had a few drinks Alfred, what do you say we hang out?
We're doing fine. I'm doing the lip thing. Doing the George Clooney lip thing. That'll buy me a 30-year career.
Ivy shows up.
The head wag.
Yeah.
Pamela Isley shows up. She's
Right.
in. She got a wig to approximate her old hair, even though like nobody knows her in Gotham City. She's been in fucking Ecuador.
Yeah, your hair
Or
could just
whatever.
look different.
Yeah.
Right, your hair could just be red.
Yeah,
That's fine.
Yeah, put a little dye it a different color red, maybe.
Go with that.
Auburn.
Yeah.
She bought a wig.
She's like, I work for you, or did. And he's like, oh, Dr. Woodrow, he's a nightmare. And she's like, he was a nightmare. And they agreed. And then she's like, maybe you could cease all actions that toxify the environment. And he goes,
Fuck Earth.
I need jobs.
Yeah.
He really is like a. And then he's like, I help. I donate to the botanical garden. Motherfucker, that is not the same.
That is
No, you are poisoning the Earth.
You
Right.
drive a nuclear cock. Like, you're not doing anything good for the planet.
Your house alone is going to end the world 50 years
Right,
sooner.
the carbon footprint of Batman is like
There's a whole section
is more
on
than the space program.
that world's Al Gore is going to become a villain just to kill Batman.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just crushing the environment.
He's like, your intentions are noble, but no, fuck it. I'm Bruce Wayne. Fuck it. Fuck you. And then she's like, nobody will save you when the world falls apart.
Batman and Robin save
Batman
us.
and Robin protect us. She says it in front of 3 cops.
And they don't care.
They're just like, she's right.
She's
you know.
right.
He's right. My job is We know our place.
Bruce gives her
Officer Cuckley.
Let this woman through.
Bruce offers her an invitation to like, I thought it was the auction, but it's not the auction. It's the observatory party.
No, it is the auction.
It's got to be the auction.
It is. It's like jungle themed.
Well, because they go to a thing later. Like she goes to another thing later as Isley, though.
That's at the grand opening or whatever. Like this is the dedication. He hands her an invitation
Out of nowhere, like magic.
Yeah, like he
It's
had
massive.
one.
Yeah.
It's a gigantic, like professional invitation.
It's the size of like a kid's book.
It's like a Golden Globes
Yeah.
invitation.
Oh, I
Yeah.
was saving this for that tall drink of water working at the valet because we'll get you to shut the fuck up. Here you go.
Yeah. No, it's the diamond auction.
Yeah. Okay. And there's a lot of exposition here. Ivy does a soliloquy about murdering everyone.
Yeah,
She just does a whole thing about how she's going to basically kill everyone. And
is
they're
that
all
still
like,
in the room with the cops?
And they're all like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No need to follow up on that.
Arnold has 6
I guess
TVs
we'll
made
just
of ice.
turn on the bat signal when its first body drops.
He's watching his wedding video,
Yeah, oh yeah.
which they then cut with the.
And then also it becomes a De Beers commercial where they're like just like looking in the vanity of their bedroom. Like,
I went to Jared.
who is filming this?
Nobody. Literally nobody. Frosty is like, boss, I got something to show you. It's very important. And he murders him.
Fuck you.
And then takes it and he's like, oh, yeah, I guess he was right.
Should I
shouldn't have
follow
done
him out? We can do that.
And we have the jungle auction, which feels racist. I don't know how.
I know exactly, because there's nothing inherently wrong with it.
Agreed.
They've made sure that nobody can be racist by, again, keeping it a whites-only event,
Right.
as most of Gotham City's activities are.
Yeah.
But it feels wrong.
It feels racist.
And then you're like, am I the problem that I associate the jungle with some sort of blackness? What is happening?
Or like, was the word like Sambo in the invitation, and we just don't see it?
Yeah, nothing
Wow,
about
I
this
hope
movie.
not.
Nothing about this movie is smart or delicate enough that I trust a gorilla suit to not have something unpleasant inside of it.
Right? Like,
You know what I mean?
so, the Heart of Isis is on loan from Bruce Wayne, and they're auctioning off women. And somebody goes, I'll give 10,000 for the orchid. And then somebody goes, I'll give 20,000 for the tiger lily. And this is not how auctions work, by the way. And then
one of my favorite characters in the film.
This guy,
this fucking
who's
guy,
so stoked about being rich.
$30,000.
$30,000 for the lovely Magnolia.
He's gesturing wildly with his cigar.
Which good for him, man.
He's killing it.
He's fucking.
You gotta like watching somebody be rich and having a good
He's like
time.
a Mark Cuban wealthy.
Right.
Where he's like, I'm going to use it.
Yeah.
You know?
I paid to fuck that model and I bought the Dallas Mavericks.
Yeah, I'm not going to be Warren
Great
Buffett.
day. Yeah.
Just fucking hanging out in Omaha. I'm going to fucking bid on horse. I can do whatever I want.
Go to jail. Go directly to jail.
And then Ivy does a gorilla striptease.
Sure.
Why is everyone looking at her?
She blew her pheromone dust into the crowd.
But
that's her whole
before,
thing.
Before you're right.
everyone stops and they're like, look, one of the gorilla costumes is moving. They've been doing that this whole time.
She knows how to work that shit.
But like, they're all looking there and then they're all just like turning their heads.
Well, once one head turns, then a couple, and then everybody's like, well, what are they looking at?
Yeah, you want to see what the rich guys are looking at.
Yeah.
And Ivy has a very erotic gorilla striptease.
She sure does.
And then she walks out onto a carpet of men.
I think that's probably why it feels, because there's like, at the very least, like darkly painted guys who are dancing around and playing
muscular,
drums.
tanned men.
And then she's walking on their backs.
That just feels kind of hot.
Yeah,
I'm being
that's
honest.
Yeah.
Less so than like racially problematic.
Could be both.
Yeah.
Maybe both. I don't know.
Call me, call me. And then so she walks, she's like, hi there, and she goes, I've got some wild oats to sow.
My garden needs tending.
Join me. My garden needs tending. And then she's like, I'll bring everything you see and everything you don't. And everyone's like, this has become a crime now.
Then she looks direct to the camera and goes, I mean my pussy.
Yeah. I mean my wet poison pussy.
Yuck. Joel Schumacher thinks every vagina is poison.
And the guy's like, I bid 50,000 for poison ivy. And then one guy goes, I bid 100,000.
And then our guy.
And I bid $500,000.
I bid every car in the Gotham Police Force.
And sad Gordon getting possessed by poison ivy is one of the is like a simultaneous like highlight and like very sad moment. No, I'm not. Please come back. It's like, oh my God.
And then they're
like, so sad.
You can have my pills.
Batman and Robin keep outbidding each other, and there's one of the probably the worst line is where Robin, it's the sweatiest word. He goes, it's a utility belt, not a money belt. 6 million. And it's like, he's the millionaire.
Yeah. You're betting his money.
You're an acrobat adult child.
That's number one. Number two, it's a utility belt, not a money belt is, again, terrible line. Number three, it's like he doesn't understand that if you don't have $6 million cash on you, it means you don't have it. That's how a credit card
Where
works.
are all the dollars?
Yeah.
And then he breaks out his Batman Forever.
Yeah.
Who is the authorizing credit agency on that? What is Batman's credit score?
1,000.
Yeah.
Is that high? I don't know. Credit
We're
scores
paying
are.
minimums on the fucking nuclear reactor for the car.
Oh.
He's just eking by.
Freeze crashes the party and keeps saying chill.
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 He wants to make sure everyone heard it.
And then we get it, man. You're a freeze guy.
Yeah.
Also, he needs another gun.
Right.
He's really
Just
like
get like a regular gun. Like the freeze gun is cool.
Get a freeze, get a pistol.
Also, just have like a regular gun, for emergencies.
That's so fucking funny. He's got this big fucking armor suit, everything's themed. Walks in and just fucking blows you away with a deagle. Like, what, Jesus fucking Christ.
All right, everybody, die, I guess. Break yourself.
All right, everybody, wang gun tonight. I don't know.
I like the feeling of cold steel in my hands.
It's cold. It's like ice. It's on brand.
It's similar.
Who are you? Plant girl?
Plant girl.
Fine lady? And then she goes, pheromone dust. Doesn't work on the cold-hearted.
Within his wheelhouse. He's like, oh, pheromone dust.
I would obviously know that immediately.
I learned that at the Olympics.
Back in the 80s. Yeah.
I used to inject this into my body in the Olympics.
He was doing lines of pheromone dust.
Yeah.
Studio 54, it was a crazy time.
Just snorting flowers off of David Bowie's dick.
It's pretty freaky, babe. Oh, you're making my gens cold, man.
Come on, I'll put your helmet on.
Put your armor on and get ready for love.
Chill out.
Turn and blast my face. When he comes, it freezes everyone's face back. He takes the diamonds.
So dumb.
And then we have your favorite part of this whole movie, Tom.
Oh, yeah?
Where she goes, who's that? And then Commissioner Gordon says,
All right. Well, Miss Ivy, you just met Mr. Freeze, one of the most dangerous men in Gotham. And then he walks away.
Miss Ivy, you just met one of the most dangerous men in Gotham. He hangs his head and just walks out of the
He
camera.
walks away.
I double parked.
Like he was
He
punished.
finishes speaking. Just like life is just whipping him in the back every time he speaks.
I mean, he was a cop. He used to be a cop. Up until 1989, he was a well-respected commissioner.
Right.
And he's become a paper tiger, you know?
He's a
Useless.
limp noodle. Yeah.
Yeah, he's like the Queen of England.
And she goes, that's no man. That's a god. And I feel like that might not be the worst time to end it.
Yeah,
I think that's a sode.
That's a sode. That's a first sode for sure.
That's episode 1. This one was free, which
Yeah.
I like. Keith Carey,
Yeah.
where can we find you? What we should be on the lookout
I'm
for?
on all the other social media at Keith Tells Jokes. Listen to the Mean Boys podcast wherever you find your podcast, and watch Lights Out with David Spade. I write for that.
That's the last thing you said. I like that.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Fucking
I don't know him
Comedy
anything
Central's
right
got a
now,
better
yeah.
budget than my fucking podcast.
Yeah, fucking.
They're getting the word out.
Check out Mean Boys. Very fun.
Thanks, man.
A lot of crossover in the fandoms too.
Yeah,
which is
we-
great. So
We stole a tremendous amount of people from Adam.
if you are
It's really what it was.
if you're gainfully unemployed or Unpops fans and you haven't fucked with Mean Boys, you should. They're great.
And I promise Connor McSpadden's not as much of a dick on ours.
Which how?
Yeah, it's a low bar to
He
clear.
really amps it up every time he sees Adam. It's like a trigger.
Yeah.
I need to be meaner now sometimes.
Fuck you, mom and dad.
Tom, what you got?
I mean, you guys are already here. I mean,
that's
it's
fair.
a
You
free
found it,
episode.
baby.
Yeah, it's a free episode. If you guys feel like, getting the rest of the
Yeah.
episodes we do, go over to patreon.com/gamefully unemployed. You can get all this and also some other exclusive shit that we do, like Fox Mulder's a Maniac.
Fox Mulder is so much fun.
Thanks. Yeah,
I
it's a
love
fun show.
Fox Mulder as a Maniac. Which, if you don't know, it's basically they watch X-Files episodes and view it strictly from the standpoint of diagnosing how crazy Fox Mulder is in that
That's funny.
episode.
It's pretty, it completely changes the show. when you watch it.
T-shirts?
Oh, yeah, we got t-shirts. T-shirts, tpublic.com/store/gamefully unemployed. We got a bunch of new.
A lot of great
yeah.
Tom,
Bunch of new
Tom
designs,
and Jeff watch
yeah.
Batman ones that are really great. For me, you can hear me on Sideshow with Jeff May through Sideshow Collectibles. My most recent guest, you might know Adam Todd Brown. He was on the last episode of Tom and Jeff Watch Batman as well.
Oh, man, he sure was. He's getting around that Adam Todd Brown.
He's scum. He's a bad person, and I don't like him.
Just a beer bottle flies over in the studio.
No, he's great. You can also you can find me at Hey There Jeffro on all the social medias, and Mint on Card is the second Friday of every month at Blast from the Past on beautiful Magnolia in Burbank. Come check that out. Our next show is Friday the 13th of September. Come check it out.
Check it out.
So thank you. That's the end of the episode.
That's the end of the South.
Fucking bye.
Cool.
Goodbye.
See you next week.
We'll see you on Patreon.
That was the most dangerous episode in Gotham City.
Miss Ivy, you've just met one of the most sinister men in Gotham.
Our artwork is produced by Justin Brown. You can follow him on Twitter at Justin T. Brown and find more of his artwork at artnessbyjustinbrown.com and justinbrown.info.